Welcome to the NBA Pub on Pub Sports Radio, Thursday, April 14. Ian Cameron. We've got Wham, we've got Derl, our Thursday guest, and we've got Billy Briz, pinch hitting, if you will, a baseball term for Dutch today on the Thursday show, ready to break down Friday's
No, I'm the
play-in
DH.
game.
I'm the DH hitter, man. You gotta throw some respect on me.
There we go. So you're gonna come up in the big spot and hit the big home run. Okay. Let's see. We're going to find that out in the next hour. Great stuff. Today we're going to talk Friday's games today, the play-in tournament for Friday. Tomorrow we'll be doing a full playoff preview show. We're going to talk series prices, series props that we like, futures to win the title. Like I say, who we'd like to win each series. We'll do that tomorrow. And then, of course, we've got our weekend shows, Saturday, Sunday, Pub Hub, starting up this weekend at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So looking forward to that. All right, let's talk Friday play-in. We're first game on Friday. This is now winner gets the 8th seed, and the loser, their season is over. Atlanta Hawks, Cleveland Cavaliers. We've got Atlanta 2.5-point road favorites, 223 the total in this game. And look, this is a prisoner of the moment situation with this line movement. Everybody saw Atlanta just go out there and roll over Charlotte, dominate. It was just an outstanding effort offensively. They got tremendous contributions from multiple people in that 132-point effort. We saw 22 from Hunter, 24 from Trae Young, Werder, Bogdanovic, Capella, Gallinari. They all got double figures last night for Atlanta. Charlotte couldn't stop them. And defensively, look, Atlanta put the clamps down and pulled away in that game. And everybody knows Atlanta's got playoff experience, like out the yin-yang from last year, going to the conference finals. They see them, obviously with an edge and experience right now over from Cleveland in that regard. And people are betting the hell out of Atlanta. Atlanta looked great. We just saw Cleveland lose to Brooklyn. However, home teams haven't lost in the play-in game. I think Cleveland playing at home is worth something here. And when you look at Cleveland, yeah, they struggled down the stretch. They sure have. But they've also been competitive in defeat to some pretty good teams, like Brooklyn in the first play-in game, like Philadelphia, where they only lost by 4, this Cleveland team. A Cleveland team that could have, not for sure yet, but could have Jared Allen back for this game. He was practicing yesterday. We know what a difference he makes defensively, protecting the rim. That could make a difference here for the Cleveland Cavaliers in this game. And still, when I look at the Atlanta Hawks going into the game and I look at their overall road track record this year, it's not really one that I'm enthralled with. 6-15 against the number in their last 21 road games entering this one, Atlanta. And look at the road performances. You're going to see, they've actually won some road games. Well, who did they beat? Houston, Oklahoma City, and Indiana were the last 3 road wins for the Atlanta Hawks. Are we supposed to give them some kind of medal for that? I mean, the other road games they played down the stretch were to 2 good teams, Miami and Toronto. They lost both of them. I'm not ready to lay points on the road with Atlanta. I get the reasons why people like them, the experience. They've been there, done that. They have that advantage over Cleveland, a very young group. But I'm not laying 2.5, 3 with Atlanta. Not given the road track record. I like the competitive juice we've seen from the Cavs. They didn't quit the other night against Brooklyn. They had a horrible first quarter. They got behind early, and they actually rallied to put a scare in the Nets down the stretch. So I don't know if I'm betting Cleveland, you guys, but I sure as hell am not taking Atlanta. So for me, I would only look at the Cavs as a home dog. And again, home teams unbeaten so far in the play-in tournament. Wham, what do you think here? Atlanta, Cleveland.
I mean, you said it right there. A home team hasn't lost yet so far in the play-in, and we're going against a team that we know that's pretty bad on the road all year, man. They kind of figured it out a little bit towards the end, but still pretty bad on the road. So I'm not afraid of going against them being on the road just based off of that. And then as far as the Cavs, getting Jared Allen is a big piece for them. So if they get him back, that's a big lob threat for them. That's a lot of what the problem with Darius Garland distributing has been, is because the screens that have been really that tight, and he can't get to the rim at ease like he normally could. They're kind of really clamping down on him. So as long as Karis LeVert is on the Cavs, I'm not going to be betting on the Cavs though, because I think he was point shaving last game, bro. There's no way his ass was bullshit like a motherfucker, bro. So I don't want nothing to do with Karis LeVert. This game, I can only lean towards no, for real. You see the game. You seen the game, Billy. You know what I'm talking about, bro. He was selling the whole game from start to finish. It didn't look good at all. And I'm watching the game. I got money on this on the Darius Garland. I see Darius Garland giving him passes that he could easily just throw lobs or floaters up for himself, but he gets scared and try to does something, throw the ball away. So as long as he's on the team, I'm not fucking with it, and he's getting minutes. I think Kevin Love prop is going to be live, though. Obviously, the props are not available right now. I think Kevin Love is going to continue to play really well. So I think that is a good look. I'm probably going to be on that side. But as far as this game is the side, I'm going to stay away because I think the Cavs can do it. I just don't want to touch Karis LeVert no more. I'm over it, bro. So, whoever wins, good luck to them in the next round for sure.
The one prop, even though the prop you mentioned, the props aren't out yet for these games, but I will be on DeAndre Hunter again for Atlanta. I cashed the prop with him.
That shit, they're gonna have to move that to 15, bro.
Yeah.
I saw that John at 13 to have everybody and their moms, their grandmoms, their cousins, their baby moms all hit that shit. They're gonna change that shit to 15.
They might. This is where you might see the adjustment on that for sure. Garland double, I think, which Wham has mentioned multiple times, I think might be worth a look as well in that game tomorrow night. What do you think here, Derl? It's an interesting handicap at Atlanta, Cleveland.
Yeah, very short number, right?
Yep.
But I'm on the other side here, man. I think playoff Atlanta team is different than the regular season Atlanta team, in my opinion. Right? I just think they get a little. You saw the experience in this last game against the Hornets, right? You saw the experience. And if we're talking about different types of theories that happen with the game, if Jared Allen is in that game, are we taking the star player theory here? Are we taking that true to heart? What I'm seeing right now is the last 4 games that they've played against each other, Cleveland's only beat them once. Atlanta's covering those spreads, and they're giving you, out of those 3 games that they did win, they're not giving you under 120 points. So you're asking Cleveland to do a lot here. It is one game, so it is balls to the wall, right? But if you're asking me, do I think that Atlanta can't go into Cleveland and beat them by 3 points here? It's scary. This line scares me, but at the same token, I think Atlanta can do it. They did it against New York. They did it against Philly. You know what I'm saying? So can they do it against Cleveland with not really a healthy Jared Allen? And you're telling me 3 points when all it takes, Trey can put up a 40 burger any night, So they put up 134 in their last game in March, right? They put up 124 a few months before and then 121 points. So I think if you're going to look at this game, they put up 235 total in the Charlotte game. I think they can do that against Cleveland. I really think that total itself is kind of low. I would look at a team total for Atlanta because what I've seen so far is that Cleveland has not been able to stop Atlanta from scoring, right? So if I'm going to look at probably a safer play, it's going to be Atlanta team total.
Yeah, that's I like those doing that, Derl, when I don't trust them necessarily as a favorite. I've done that with a bunch of – I did that a lot with Golden State at times this year. I didn't trust them laying 8 points, but I'll bet them over their team total. It just feels like it's a little bit of a safer option, and that's going to be the question. Allen will go a long way to improving that Cleveland defense, but we're still 50-50.
You're right.
We're still 50-50 whether he's going to play, and this is going to go right down to shoot around right before the game tomorrow night.
Right. I kind of don't think it makes a difference, man. For real. They really needed to start Kevin Love and let him just say fuck it and play all the minutes.
While you look at the record with and without Allen, it does matter a little bit for Cleveland.
It does, but you're looking at 2 different teams. Like, I feel like this team, you got to look at them pre-Ricky Rubio, post-Ricky Rubio, because this team defensively is not the same team that was covering all those first quarters, all in the beginning of the All-Star break. Man, if you really look at it, for real, Atlanta might be a little bit sketchy on the road and all that, but what is Cleveland really throwing back at you? This ain't NBA 2K where you get to pick your starting 5 lineup and throw them out there and let them play all the minutes, because the guys that they rolling out there right now don't give a fuck about playing basketball, bro. Larry Marketing is – man, Larry Marketing, that's my boy in 2K, but I ain't –
he looking suspect as fuck out there for sure.
He could get benched for Chetty Osman. I mean, Chetty Osman will shoot the ball, pass the ball, and do other things. I just, Okoro is just really playing cardio minutes right now. They say, quote unquote, he plays defense. It don't look like it because Bruce Brown and Kyrie were absolutely frying him. And then, like it's Derl said, it's Trae Young, man. In 4 games that Trae Young's played against the Cleveland Cavaliers this year, he averaged 32.5 points and 9 assists while shooting 46 from the field and 41% from the 3-point line. And I don't really see that changing. The way they weren't playing defense on Kyrie Irving, we were joking pre-lock talking about Ramadan Kyrie. Well, it was about to be Ice Trae up in there because Trae's going to go off, man. If you're going to beat Atlanta, you're going to have Trae to have an off night. You're going to have the role players not be role players. And if the Hornets had Trae bottled up and they still won by 30, I ain't really worried about Cleveland, man. Maybe Cleveland a couple months ago, but this Cleveland basketball squad, while it's a great story that they haven't played in the postseason since 1998 without LeBron James, I think that story comes into an end, and those boys going to wrap it up and get ready for the Summer League and other devourers. Go get your Drew League contract ready.
Yeah,
that's just to close out that point. That's what I'm saying, Ian. Trae didn't even have his best game, right, against the Hornets, and they got him by a lot. So if you have Trae now, get those post-game, and I don't really want to call them jitters, but get those post-game, actions and have that post-game mentality going. I think this game against Cleveland is going to be Ice Trae mode, and then from there, it's just a wrap.
But Beto makes a good statement, though. Cleveland 25-16 ATS at the house, and then Atlanta 16-25 away from the crib. It's just like if you're putting your money on Atlanta, make sure it's a half unit, not a full unit.
Be careful, yeah. They're like that untrustworthy mistress. Love you one night and just betray you and stick a knife in your heart.
That sounds like a stripper, man.
Yeah.
And the last time, like you said, Trae didn't have to do anything, but all those other guys shot more than it was 8 players that had eight plus points or something around there. Like everybody had almost double digits, man.
Man, it felt like everybody was scoring on the Hawks. I thought we was about to see Lou Williams drop the chicken wings and sub in for a second.
Markkanen has actually been good, decent offensively, but he's got too much JV in him where he's not going to stop anything at the rim. He's just not a defensive guy for a guy his size. How do you only have 2 blocked shots in the last 7 games?
Bro, I'm telling you, man, keeping it being with you from like the eye perspective, put Chetty Osman out there on the floor. He is one of the only other people besides Darius Garland that can create his own shot and dribble off the ball and shoot. And man, it's like you want to play Darius Garland over 8.5 assists, but ain't nobody want to fucking shoot on the Cleveland Cavaliers. I might have to chill out on that prop today.
Dan Kelly says first quarter Cavs plus a half. I like that look.
That might be safer. I think
Atlanta money line or the spread. I think that's just the way it goes, man. You just gotta rock it out with Atlanta, man. I would not advise my best enemy to throw their money on Cleveland, man. You might fuck around and it's this trappy line, but you might fuck around and get burnt by the end of the night. Be mad as hell going to Easter Sunday.
Yeah, I'd probably be mad as hell anyway because Saturdays haven't been great for me betting wise the last couple of weeks.
Hey, you need to come up on one of these UFC live streams then.
That's right. I might have to just to say, I got to make up. I could cap my own shit on Saturday. I got to see what the UFC folks are doing. What are they bringing into the table? What gold are they giving people with the live bets on a UFC Saturday? All right, we got the second game for Friday night play-in. Pelicans and Clippers. LA Clippers, we've got them 4-point home favorites, 215 the total in this game. The Clippers back home. Now, are we concerned the Clippers completely got outplayed down the stretch by the less experienced coach, the less experienced team, and they just took it right from them? Or do we say, nah, this is fine. They're all right. You got Paul George back. You got Norman Powell back. You've got a lot of reasons to be optimistic going into this game against the Pelicans, who, to be quite honest with you, they were playing a Spurs team that had a lot of flaws. Defensively, they couldn't stop anybody. It was back to the old Spurs. The Spurs were playing better defense down the stretch. Could have went back to the early season Spurs defensively. Weren't stopping anything or anybody. And CJ McCollum was just, maybe you want to get the ball out of his hands at some point, Pop. You're better than that. Find a way to make sure CJ's not being able to square it, step into a shot time and time again. You're passing it to him in an area where there's nobody around and he can step right into a well-timed three and he drained it every single time. And really, that barrage in the second quarter is what gave the Pelicans the separation to put away the Spurs. It was a horrible defensive game, and shame on Pop. You'd think he'd make some sort of they actually did on McCollum in the second half a little bit, but by then the damage was done. And the other issue I have with the Spurs, and why I think the Pelicans, yeah, they played a good game, give them credit, but there were a lot of bad things from San Antonio that contributed to that win. DeJounte Murray didn't have his best game at all, not even close. I mean, he gets an opportunity here and a television game and a play-in game to really step up, and he's had some incredible games this year. Last night was not one of them, unfortunately for him.
I ain't gonna lie though, man. The arrow looks bright for the San Antonio Spurs. Ain't nobody expect them
For sure.
to take it this far. It was supposed to be Wham's LA Lakers in this spot, but they kept on losing games to the point where they just had to give it to the Spurs.
Yeah, there's no question. It's still been a nice year for a very young Spurs team, but I personally was hoping for better from them.
I think they're
night.
2 years away, Babano.
Yeah, didn't see it from them last night. Keldon Johnson was terrible. He actually got going in the second half, but by then it was too late. That was an issue too. But when I look at this game here, I think there's things to like for the Clippers here. I would only look to lay the 4 with LA in this game. The New Orleans perimeter defense is still not good. It's bottom 5 in the NBA. And the Clippers, the one thing they have been doing lately, and they've been getting multiple guys stroking it from the downtown lately, especially with Norm Powell back. You've seen this team's three-point percentage be pretty good, whether it's Reggie Jackson, whether it's Batum who can step out. Paul George,
Batum was
obviously.
stroking them, man. Batum almost saved their ass in that last game, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And then what if you get Luke Kennard back? There's a chance he returns.
He don't play defense, though, bro.
For the Clippers. Yeah, but he can shoot the 3 against a team that doesn't defend the 3, which is New Orleans. And that would definitely
against New Orleans,
help.
though. You might want to need some guard defense because I don't think Luke Kennard's sticking nobody. Jose Alvarado might be screaming Alvarado in New Orleans for a very long time if you put Luke Kennard on him.
That was an issue too for the Spurs last night. Was Alvarado's just cooking them for a long period in that first half. But nevertheless, I think the Clippers bounce back here. They win this game. They probably cover this number as well. So I'm going to look to them. Maybe this could be one of those games where I go a little bit on all 3. Right, the Clippers first quarter. The Clippers first half, and the Clippers full game. Clippers first quarter is -1, 1.5. First half is -2, and of course the full game is -4. So I might just do, instead of put it all in the full game, just break it up a third each on the first quarter, first half, and full game for the Clippers. I do think this is a spot for them to step up, get the job done, and move on to play the Phoenix Suns in the first round of the playoffs. Wham, what do you think here? With this one, Pelicans and Clippers.
Yeah, man, both teams going to be probably playing at a really, really slow pace. I mean, just saying what you're known for, the Pelicans, they play slow pace, try to play lockdown defense with Herb Jones out there, and we know it's really slow with the Clippers. They're just trying to be really efficient with the ball. I think you said exactly what I have written down here, Babano, just as far as like how can the Clippers exploit this defense for the Pelicans? Is it going to be down low? It's really going to be problematic for the rebounds. Obviously, the Clippers have a problem with rebounding. But against this New Orleans team, the last time they played, Zubac and Isaiah Hartenstein, who's both been playing all right, you know what I mean? They combined for 23 boards in that last game. I mean, Zubac looked like he did what he had to do. 14 rebounds, did what he had to do in that last game. I expect them guys that they could do that. And you think the Clippers are going to be able to shoot the same? Norman Powell probably plays a little bit better, even though he did go over his points total, which was set, I believe, at 15 and a half. I think he went over that by 1 point there, by a half point. But for the most part, I think he has another game that he can get to the 20 mark against this team that gives it up, like you said, from the 3 all year long, ranked 26 in opponents' 3-point percentage. This is the opposite for this other team. They shoot the 3rd best from 3 this season, and I think they're going to be trying to really motivate it to get and play that rematch for the Western Conference Finals in the first game. So just like Jay Money said, maybe this is just a blessing in disguise for the Clippers. They get to play their team that they really want to play and beat up the Suns here. So I think the Clippers are going to be live in this spot. I did take this play. This is going to be the only play that I did make for this card. It's the Clippers -4. I just think they got it in this game. I think they're going to be able to figure out the game plan. I don't think Ty Lue's going to look bad 2 times in a row And I love Willie
It'll
Green.
be the
He's
first
great.
time.
And I wouldn't be surprised, though, you know what I'm saying, if we talk about Willie Green being a good coach later on down the line. But I'm just saying, like, I think he will be out coaching this spot just based off of who he has available out there. I'm just going to think of CJ McCollum be the main force that they try to stop. If they stop CJ McCollum, you kind of look around. It's going to be a little bit more inconsistent from the other guys. So that's the reason why I like the Clippers. I think you can pass it around. And if you do get an extra shooter, like my guy Babano said, and Kennard, who's been one of the best 3-point shooters all year, that's only adding to the shit. So I like the
Hashtag free Amir Coffee.
Nah, I ain't gonna say free him though, because we don't need him right now. Once the time comes, we're gonna know when to strike. Right now, we don't need him to see Amir Coffee out there. We just need everybody to be vets, knocking down shots. Robert Covington to hit his jumpers, and Norman Powell to get 20 points. So I think as far as the props, I like the most. I'm thinking to go back to the well with Norman Powell and maybe Zubac double, and what else? I probably got to talk a little bit more about it tomorrow, but those two right there are the ones that stick out to me. But
No
for sure,
Joe love in the playoffs for you, Wim?
You said who?
No Joe love for you in the playoffs here?
Jonas
Nah, I'm
Valanciunas. Yeah.
I'm gonna stay away from Big Val though. The only reason why is because you haven't seen really Big Val impact in meaningful games. Like you only see him do that shit in meaningless games. So that's the only reason why. But that's the only reason why. But other than that though, I'm on the Clippers -4. That's official for me.
Yeah, we'll definitely reiterate the props on tomorrow's show for the two games. We'll definitely spend some time just reiterating, finalizing what we like for props because the prop numbers will come out tomorrow. But I will be on again for sure because it cashed with ease against Minnesota, even though they lost, is PG Paul George over points and rebounds again. I'm coming right back to that. He's been an active rebounder. He's been scoring the ball. He's been shooting it a lot. He's obviously great offensively in the second half in particular against Minnesota. I'm going to go right back to that prop that cashed for me against the T-Wolves. Paul George over points and rebounds tomorrow night against New Orleans. Derl, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just tell you this right off the bat. Give me Clippers minus. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is.
There we go.
For real. This is going to be a game that the Clippers are going to win because this is the type of matchup that works in their favor. Clippers, if you look at their success, it's not with fast games. They have a more articulated way to play, and it's very structured, right? This is what Ty Lue does. Ty Lue plays chess, right? If you look at the Minnesota game, they executed the plan by getting Cat out of it. But when you got that much high-powered offense, and when you got D'Lo, who's on his own scheme and doing his own thing, and you got Ant-Man, even though he was in trouble, he was still able to score points. There's too many scores on, in my opinion, there's more scores on Minnesota than there is on Nolens, right?
On the Pelicans, for sure.
Right? So if we can agree with that, then we know that you're going to have the ball primarily in two people's hands in New Orleans. And that's CJ and that's Brandon Ingram. And what you hope to do is that somebody is messed up on the switching or help defense, and you hope to get Devontae Graham involved and hopefully, knock down some threes. You also had somebody who knew the schemes of the Clippers very well in Pat Bev. So it was almost like a cheat code there. And they still almost lost that game. They still almost lost it. So when I'm looking at this game, this is the perfect matchup for the Clippers. They're a tough, gritty team. They can leave you once everybody gets involved and starts shooting. I think you have better shooting out of Man. I think you have better shooting out of Morris. This is the type of game that works in their favor, if you ask me. As far as Joe Val, I think Zubac is a big enough body to where he can contain him. He can. Two flat-footed guys that are still,
I don't know, though. Joe Val might put him on work, though, man. That's the one prop that's kind of juiced is Joe Val.
Listen, man. Listen, part of that plan of getting Cat out of the game was Zubac. Zubac is doing, right? So I just think that Lue is going to work to those strengths. And if Joe Val is going to have a game, he's another one that's going to be probably involved in a lot of these pick and roll actions that I just don't really see working because the ball is going to move around Brandon Ingram. It's going to move around CJ McCollum, and Joe Val is going to play that cleanup guy. So in my opinion, I think this is just a Clippers ass whooping here. I really do. I think they can give it to New Orleans. And the -4 does not scare me at all. I think the Clippers are a better coach team. I think they are a gritty team. You've seen this team come down from like 20, 25 points and come back and win games, even off of back-to-backs. And it's all on how they're coached. It's all on how they're coached. But when you've got a fast team, a team that has a lot of shooters that can play inside and out, I think that does have that's a disadvantage for the Clippers. But in this case here, the Clippers are moving forward, right? This team isn't going to be complete on New Orleans end until you get Zion implemented back in the mix. But I just like the Clippers, man. So give me the Clippers. I already stepped on it, man. I stepped on the Clippers early. -4. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is at all, dog. I don't give a fuck what the spread is. They're going to win this game.
Derl always says that for games that he feels very good about and confident about, but usually he says it once. He said it 3 times there, so he's really feeling it in this game. He's really feeling it with the LA Clippers here. They will smack some ass and get the job done here against the Pelicans. All right, Billy, what's your thoughts on this one?
I endorse all the Clippers love and vibrations and all that, but I actually do give a fuck. I can't be backing the Clippers full game, man. The way I didn't went to sleep the other night is like when you get it felt like when you get cheated on and you know you got cheated on and you're just gonna go to sleep and you're just gonna accept the L. How many times am I gonna do it to myself with Paul George? Not bet his player prop, take the Clippers, and the player prop didn't hit in the third quarter, but the Clippers lose the full game. It happens every time you fuck around with the Clippers. And for real, bro, this might be recency bias, but man, like the Clippers, bro, what more do you want? Batum hits a 3 going into the TV timeout. Cat subbed out of the game. Y'all letting Anthony Edwards looked like the next coming of Vince Carter right down the stretch.
Black Jesus.
Black
look like
Jesus. He was flying. They were screaming out Jesus Shuttlesworth. We was going back into the 90s with this shit, man. For real, though, all jokes aside, though, Clippers first quarter minus a half, -122 seems like money in the bank. And the Clippers first half, -1.5, -115 seems like money in the bank. First quarter, first half for me. The Clippers are in the bucket with the Denver Nuggets and the Philadelphia 76ers. You just can't be fucking around with the full games with them because when it comes down to the stretch of the game, when it comes to the nitty-gritty, we need a bucket. The Tatum moments, the Kobe moments, the ice tray moments, the shit. Even D'Angelo Russell didn't have a moment. Man, Paul George doesn't have these moments. When it comes into the last part of the game and it's 1 minute left and you need that quick 3 to turn things around to cover your spread, Paul George is going to pass the ball, bro. That just can't be me and my money.
There's some truth to that. His historical field goal percentage numbers, the last minute in a playoff game, they're not great.
It's the eye test for me, Babano. It's just why would you do it to yourself on a Friday late night when we got all these different other events going on? Why are you betting the Clippers full game? You could take first quarter, first half, and laugh at everybody else at the full game when they're bitching at the TV timeout right before the game ends. And they're like, man, Paul George doing this to me again. This happened to me the other night, yo. I ain't going nowhere for Easter. I'm staying at home. That's what's going to happen to all y'all that bet the Clippers full game, man.
Going nowhere for Easter, though?
You know what that tells me, Billy? That you think people are like that? We got to toughen them up and say,
man,
lose the bet. Get your ass up the next day and get back at it.
Those people be tripping.
That's right,
Babano.
That's right. That's right. We're going to get in their ass. That's exactly
Walk
right.
inside an American casino around here, the people be tripping, man. They be out here shooting guns off of losses and stuff like that. Don't go to FanDuel Sportsbook in New Jersey, man. You better just bet the shit online. Stay your ass at home.
Hey, but I like that first half look as well. They did cover 5 straight first halves for the Clippers. And it's kind of the opposite there for the
and they
Pelicans
did against Minnesota too.
Yeah, exactly. And they did against Minnesota as well. So I do like that first half look -2. It is something I bet half a unit on, so I can't make it official. But full game official, man. I'm on the Clippers full game, bro. I like that first half too, though.
I'm praying with you, man. I'm gonna be sitting at halftime. If I lose my halftime ticket, you know where my money's gonna be at full game. You ain't even gotta look at my Twitter account.
No, exactly. We teach people though. You have a terrible loss and a bet that you look back on and say, "Why did I take it?" You get your ass.
Nah, I'll be on my it's Daryl vibe, man. I
There's no
don't give
woe
a
is
fuck.
me.
They gonna cover.
No moping around. No feeling sorry for yourself. No wallowing in self pity. No woe is me. You got to get back at it the next day. Don't let your Easter weekend get fucked by your own betting. You know?
Especially NBA basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it be a family member that you ain't seen in 2 years. Don't let it be a basketball game.
No, it's look, the play-in tournament's been tricky the whole way, but the one thing that you've been able to rely on is the home teams getting it done. We'll see if that carries over to Friday night. All right, great stuff with Wham, with Derl, with Billy. We got best bets coming up to wrap things up. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, make sure you go there for great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports, 20% off using promo code Pub Sports. MyBookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports, NBA playoffs. We got the NHL regular season winding down. Their playoffs will start in a couple weeks. UFC this weekend once again. Major League Baseball. We've got USFL starting this weekend. Lots going on. Sign up for an account, mybookie.ag. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit, mybookie.ag. Promo code PubSports. All right, best bets to wrap it up. Obviously, we've got these games are tomorrow. We want to remind you that, not tonight. But we'll do a best bet here. We'll start off with Wham. What do you like most? Best bet for Friday's games?
Yeah, best bet is the one I locked in. It's going to be the Clippers. Full game -4. I do like the first half as well. Again, they cover 5 straight first halves there. But I like the full game here. The reason being is because they're number 3 in three-point percentage going against the 26th bottom 5 team in three-point percentage allowed. So I think they continue to shoot well. All they need to do is rebound right, and then they get this done. So I like the Clippers full game -4.
All right, there it is. Clippers -4 against the Pelicanos for Wham with his best bet. Derl, best bet for tomorrow?
Yeah, man. I'm already on it, bro. I already took it. So everything Wham said, just take the Clippers. I don't give a fucking shit what the spread is. I don't think they're going to even be down this game at all, to be honest with you. I think they win this game wire to wire. So I took Clippers -4. I don't give a motherfucking shit what the spread is.
And now the counter's up to 5 and 6 on that now with that line on this Pelicans Clippers game. So this is with full confidence for our man Derl. Clippers -4. He says they're going to never trail in this game. A wire-to-wire winner for the Clippers tomorrow night against the Pelicans. Billy Briz, what do you got for us for best bet?
Yeah, man, y'all gonna have to stick for the Twitter card for that Hawks-Cavs game. That's gonna take a little bit more research, but best bet coming into tomorrow night is gonna be hate to do this to you, Babano. I gotta steal it from you. Paul George over 34.5 points and rebounds -120, and then Clippers first half -1.5 at -115 at FanDuel Sportsbook. Those are gonna be my 2 best bets going into tomorrow, baby. Let's go.
There you go. All right, good stuff. Best bet there for Billy Briz. And one of those best bets from Billy is my best bet. It's the Paul George prop. It stuck out to me last night or Tuesday night. I mean, it was one of the first prop bets I made when the props hit the board. I'm like, he has been actively looking to crash the glass, get involved, rebound the basketball. And if he can give you just enough rebounds, he'll score enough to take care of the rest for you. It was a great prop win the other night with Paul George over points and rebounds. And I'm going right back to the well. It's probably going to be in that same range, 34.5, like it was against Minnesota. That'll be my best bet for tomorrow night. Paul George, LA Clippers, over 34.5 points and rebounds. All right, great stuff.
Cash this ticket, Babano. We're going to karaoke it on down all Saturday, baby. Let's go.
Yep. Yeah, that was fun karaoke in San Antonio. One of the great memories of my lifetime, honestly. It was that much fun. We'll remember that for many years to come, for sure. Great stuff. Thanks, Derl, for joining us as usual on Thursdays. Billy for subbing in for Dutch. Wham, as always, great stuff. 78 live viewers. Hit the like button on the way out. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow on Friday with another edition of the NBA Pub Up, and we'll do a complete playoff preview, series prices, conference futures, title futures, all of that stuff tomorrow for the first round and beyond. A huge betting preview for the NBA playoffs tomorrow on the NBA Pub Up, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Join us for that. For Wham, for Derl, for Billy, that's Ian Cameron. Have a great Thursday night, and we will see you again tomorrow on Friday for another edition of the NBA Pub Up right here on Pub Sports Radio. We don't have Dutch to take us home, so guess what? Get the camera on me here.
That's right.
Here we go. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat for joining us. We're getting in, and we're coming out with a motherfucking bag. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.